Bringing him home was an exciting thing and a difficult thing at the same time. Mostly exciting, but there were just definitely some obstacles.
And our skill set, I think that was one area. Medical is something we knew very little about.
At Shepherd Center, they taught my parents how to take care of Nathaniel, but it's one thing to learn something and another thing to do it. Now they were not only the visitors to Nathaniel at the hospital, they were the full-time caregivers, nurse, everything to Nathaniel 24/7. You know, we would all basically take 8-hour shifts. I think that's how it started, was 8-hour shifts with Nathaniel until we kind of got the groove down.
We were scrambling because this is a tall, skinny house and there are no bedrooms or full bathrooms on the main level, and obviously he's not able to make stairs, and so hospital bed landed next to the fireplace in the family room. The house had the wear and tear of 7 children. We had old, wrinkly carpet, and it was getting older and wrinklier and more stained as the days went by. Everything has wheels on it. That's the hospital situation. The wheelchair, the hospital bed, the table, the feeding gadget that runs through the night. Just pushing everything around was really difficult, and so the church came in and did a beautiful thing for us.
That's when I came here to the church and I said, what can we do?
Jeff came in and told us that the church was going to want to help.
When he and Steve Craig came and talked to my family about the renovations, we were pretty amazed and excited because we had no resources. We were struggling to just keep our heads above water, and what a beautiful offer.
At that point, I went and met Grandma, Grandpa, Mom, Dad. Everybody was there, and as I showed up, I had my notebook, my knowledge of construction, and God, and we showed up together at the door.
I guess Jeff had it on his heart to help and to do something for Nathaniel to make his life better, and he really went for it, really called the troops together, and it was just beautiful.
They weren't sure what I was offering, and the fact is I wasn't either. I said, we're here as a church to help you get what you need to accomplish your goals. And they said, we don't know where to start. And I said, I don't either. But let's start at the top and work down.
Redid the whole main level of the house here.
I didn't know how we were going to accomplish the tasks that we took on, but I found out that I didn't need to. The response from the people that go to the church and both from a monetary standpoint and a volunteer standpoint was overwhelming.
There was an enormous and immediate outpouring, and the list was long. It was pages long of people who would be willing to come in and help and donate their time and expertise to our cause, which was a real blessing. We got laminate, is what we felt like would be better for the wheels. So Steve Sinatra donated the flooring. Then some of our neighbors have a laminate installation company, and so they volunteered to put it in.
We had people walking by the table, throwing $100 bills on the table and saying, I can't come and help, but to use this for materials, and it was great.
It was also a neat thing for my parents to see this kind of a community. And they have a good community, but they just said they've never seen anything like this.
And this is where God really came into my life, and he said, you need to devote some time and energy to this. And this really wasn't, up until not too long ago, wasn't me at all. It was more of being selfish and self-centered, and as I've learned to give to others, it's been a joy and happiness I can't find anywhere else. I get more joy out of helping people now than I ever have before. I can't find that kind of joy anywhere.
Jeff started helping us and organizing all the improvements to the house. We were just so busy. Well, it's still so busy. But we were so busy taking care of Natty and trying to take care of all the things that have to be done and work and everything that it was just a blessing for Jeff to be able to come in and just take care of everything and handle all the details of the renovations. That was quite a blessing.
We basically needed a bathroom for Nathaniel, a handicap accessible bathroom.
Because there wasn't an accessible bathroom. Nate's tall and his wheelchair doesn't turn in a tight radius. So my goal was to get him enough space to be able to function as a normal person.
Before we had the bathroom, we would take Nathaniel out into the garage and the water would just trickle out into the driveway. That's what we had for a shower. Otherwise, it was just always sponge baths in bed.
So we went in and we made the rest of their house on that level available for him to be able to move his chair and get from point A to point B. And it made his life a lot easier through the course of the construction.
We had volunteers come and help paint and do all the things that they knew how to do or they were willing to be trained. And of course, Jeff Brown and everything that he did. Seems like he was there all week long sometimes.
And then once we got started on the bathroom, we took over about a third of their living space and got the bathroom finished in a design that I think worked really well.
And all of this was free for us, and it's just amazing.
It's a constant reminder that God's providing for so many things that we would have never been able to manage ourselves. So it's given us great strength and hope and encouragement.
The family was incredibly grateful, and they knew that their needs were met, not by me, but by the people coming together through God and working through us.
And all the prayer and encouragement, people are bringing us dinners, and I could go on forever. So many things everybody's doing for us.
It's a testimony that He loves us and He cares, and that He has people in place praying for us.
Us coming together as a church and doing for them what we did was exactly what they needed, I think.
Before his hands started getting involved a lot with just helping us with the brain injury in our house and everything. My dad didn't come to church. He just didn't come to church. But after his hands really kind of started helping us out, he really just saw a more beautiful side to the church. He's been coming with Nathaniel to the church now, so it's a huge step. I'm excited that he's coming back and that he's happy about his hands church.
I used to pray for a closer relationship with Natty, and he's busy and I'm busy and everything, and this has just really brought us closer together, and we just formed a good tight bond.
They don't deserve what happened to Nate, as Nate doesn't or as anybody does.
This entire thing has been has had a big impact on my parents, and naturally so.
We lost a child, basically, and we lost this year.
I think one of the biggest things that my parents deal with is grief. Grieving the loss or the possible loss of parts of Nathaniel or something, I think that's been their biggest emotional struggle.
It hasn't been a death kind of a loss, it's a rebirthing kind of a loss where it's bringing in something new.
Nathaniel makes so many improvements all the time.
A lot of our milestones and adjustments this year have been watching the emergence of the new thing.
One of my favorites was more recent is when he started laughing. His best friend, John, came over and was just shaking his hand or whatever, and he had his mouth open, so he looked like he was trying to bite John's arm, and I mentioned that. I was like, you look like you're trying to bite John's arm, and then he pulled it closer and laughed, and it was the best moment. All of us were like, I know you're laughing, but I'm crying.
Hey Nate, you gotta be honest, who's funnier, Steve or me?
Recently he started writing. That's been beautiful to see his personality.
Would you like to write something? Start way over here and write big letters. Let's see. I love you. Is that what that says?
If you've not heard anything from your brother in over a year, getting to hear him laugh and getting to see what his thoughts are is mind-blowing and very exciting. Like I said, we were crying, and he was writing things like, I love you, and this is exciting, thank you, about writing. And I want pizza.
It's an excitement and a hope in having the new thing.
What a beautiful, beautiful miracle the whole renovation project was. We now have a handicapped accessible bathroom, and it's a beautiful, beautiful bathroom that Jeff did, donated by people from his hands, and it's just such an incredible difference.
God's providing for so many things that we would have never been able to manage ourselves.
I just want to say millions of thank yous to everybody at his hands. We've just been bombarded with love by the people of his hands, and it's just an incredibly beautiful story. Out of all this heartache, there's so much beauty.